All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Indie Unplugged. I am your man, Vaughan, and today my guest is an artist, lyricist, storyteller, and purpose-driven creative who is using music as a vehicle for transformation. Known as Anray360, he describes himself as a God-awakened messenger sharing life, love, and soul through music. His work blends conscious lyricism, faith, personal experience, and social awareness in a way that challenges listeners to think deeper about themselves and the world around them. Whether he's speaking about purpose, community, spirituality, or the responsibility artists have to influence culture, Anray360 brings a unique perspective that goes beyond entertainment. His mission is not simply to make people hear music, it's to create music that people can feel, to reflect on, and to grow from. Please help us give a warm welcome to my man, Anray360. What's good, brother?
How you feeling?
I'm great, man. I'm good. I'm good.
Same here, man. Glad to be here.
Hey, I'm glad to have you. You know, last 2 weeks ago we had your partner Red Fidel on, and now we get the chance to interview the other side of the Soularians.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So we'll get into your perspective of the Soularians and all that. We dive deep into your journey, and just sit back, relax, chill, conversate, and just have a great time.
Okay, I'm with it, man.
Yeah, man, let's do it. So, you know, your music feels very intentional, right? So take us back to the beginning. What experiences in your upbringing shaped the man behind Anray360 before the music ever existed?
I mean, just real life experiences. You know, we all come from a household. You know, those of us, from the Black community, we come from a household where we've seen some challenges. You know, our parents had to scratch and claw to just to survive. There was no one parent working and another one was staying home taking care of everybody. Both parents was working. So we had to learn and figure a lot of things out on our own without the guidance of our parents there on a 24/7 basis.
Mm.
And then when they were there, they was tired, they didn't want to hear all that noise and everybody running around acting all crazy in the household. So my experiences, as a kid, just I wanted to laugh at life, and then you had some things that was so serious and deep, and it made you feel deep. So it made me touch on those deep issues, those deep topics, musically, and I always wanted to touch on things that could or make my music be relatable to those who came from a similar background,
Mm-hmm.
And growing up listening to Stevie Wonder, my uncle, rest in peace, John Whitehead from the group McFadden and Whitehead, we call him Uncle Toot. He made music that came from the heart and soul that spoke to the people. He wrote for Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes.
Mhm.
Wake up, everybody, no more sleeping
Okay.
in bed. He wrote that song and a bunch of others for the OJs and numerous people. So it was easy for me to tap in and be a little deeper than what most people consider surface music.
Mm. Yeah, because most people in the Black community, you were speaking about growing up in a household, and most people in the Black community, I mean, I don't know if it's most.
Yeah.
My situation was there was no other parent. There was my
Yeah.
mom's,
Yes.
and mom's held it down.
Mhm.
And, until eventually my stepfather came into the picture. But by the time he came into the picture, I was like a teenager by then. So there wasn't really anything that was, you know, developmental from his perspective that he could do to kind of really feed into me,
Yeah.
early on, like if there was a father figure, in your life like that. But no, you're right, because I think the fact that growing up in a Black community, Black neighborhood, we definitely had challenges.
Yeah.
That whether you grew up in the hood or whether you grew up in a middle class, I mean, everything had their challenges. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So
Definitely.
you had to really kind of navigate how that was. Were there moments in your life that kind of shaped who you became, whether those were good moments, bad moments, but that you kind of draw from when you're in that creative process?
Yeah. Well, as artists, we draw from everything, good, bad, the indifferent moments,
Mhm.
and we talk about how you spoke earlier about some of us was from the hood, some of us came from middle class, families, and you know, as a real young kid, I was in the hood. As I got a little older, my mom and dad moved to New Jersey from Philadelphia, and we was what people considered middle class.
Okay.
So along with the middle class move, we encountered middle class issues for Black people moving into areas that wasn't so predominantly Black. So
Mm-hmm.
I faced racism. I faced challenges where you know, we were discriminated against because of our race. We were not wanted around because of our color,
Right, right.
pigmentation of our skin. So of course I drew from that to start writing poetry as a young kid. And I still draw from that to this day. I seen racism in the military. I was in the Navy. And I draw from that, those things because I feel like I have to be one of the voices for our people for who a lot of times don't have a voice.
Mm,
We used to have voices like Earth, Wind, and Fire. We
mm.
used to have voices like Stevie Wonder, the Commodores, and Shirley Murdoch, all the,
Yeah, yeah.
those people who spoke to us back in the day, Aretha Franklin, But nowadays we got the voices is talking about being in the club and partying and all
Mm.
that other type of stuff, but nobody's talking about real issues that hit home,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
soul, of the essence of our people, the very fiber that makes us who we are. So I feel like it's my duty to be one of those voices.
Why do you think that is though? Why do you think we kind of transition from like Marvin Gaye's "What's Going On" to now talking about bees and hoes and being in the club and mm, like where did the message or I guess I'll say that where did the message transition from that era to where we are today?
Well, we got to look at it realistically. The people that are running the radio stations, the FCC, the airwaves, what they determine what they want to be played and what they don't want to be played. The people that are running the record labels, they don't want that message out. They
Mm,
don't want that message out. See, it's big business in black destruction. It's big business in black death. It's big business in black imprisonment. So they want to
mm.
lead us. They want to give us music that's going to, lead to the prison.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
want to give us music that's going to lead us back to just just mediocre jobs with mediocre pay. So we stay under their foot. They don't want us to rise.
Mm,
You know, Stevie Wonder and the people that we mentioned earlier, they came up in the civil rights era.
mhm,
Bob Marley and and Gil Scott Heron. It was proud music. They was proud to be Black. They don't want us to be proud to be Black. We look at each other now, the masses of our people, should I say, because I don't do it, but the masses of our people look down on each other now.
mm,
They look at each other in disgust. They look at each other in disdain, and they talk to each other in that same manner. That's where you get bees and hoes and
mm.
disrespecting each other, and I'm a killer person and I'm gonna sell drugs to this
Slide
person.
on
Yeah,
them real
yeah,
quick.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. That's where it's
Mm,
intentional. None of this is just by coincidence or through evolution we evolved into this. No, it was made to happen. It was planned this way, and it was a strategic plan that was carried out against us on all fronts, not just educationally, not in the school systems, not just spiritually in the churches and stuff like that, not just on the streets, you know what I mean, but
mhm,
through music, you know what I mean. You are what you eat, not just what we consume by mouth, and
mhm,
nourishes our body. What we see, the eyes are the windows to the soul. So what you seeing is going to have an effect on your internal being. What you listen to is going to have an effect on your internal being. I mean,
mm,
your resonance, your vibration. You know,
mhm.
music carries a vibe. So you
Yeah.
want to get a good vibe, you want to get a bad vibe, and our people are being bombarded with a lot of bad vibes,
Mm.
and it's intentional.
So devil's advocate on that. So do you think that we as a community, as a people, play into that?
Oh, we definitely do. Our people have bought into selling out.
Mm,
The highest bidder. So they offering all this money. Most people gonna be like, it's no. Jay Z
mhm,
even said it one time. He said I used to want to rhyme like common sense. You see, there was no
mhm,
money in it, so I ain't been rhyming like common sense. You know what I'm
mm,
saying?
mhm.
So people have bought into, you know, chasing the bag, and they
Right.
feel like chasing the bag is more important than standing on principle.
Mm.
Standing for something of substance and creating something of meaning that's going to uplift our people and take us to the next level.
Yeah, I was watching an interview with you and Carisha. Of course, that's how we end up connecting and things like that. But
Yes.
in there, she was talking uh, about the music industry, and would you take, you had talked about turning down like $1 million deal if it was presented to you, that no amount of money that you would take would let you sell your soul. Like what would make you walk away from that kind of opportunity in general? And how do you define success for you, or how do you think that the Black community should operate from that perspective if a situation like that does arise?
Well, what would make me walk away from an opportunity like that is knowing that money can't buy you love.
Mm.
Money can't buy you happiness, you know.
Facts.
So of course, it can give you some temporary satisfaction, but when all the smoke and the dust settles, when all the cameras and the lights, go down, you left there, you know what I mean,
Mhm.
with yourself. And you got to look yourself in the mirror. And are you happy with what you see? Are you content with that? And me, the soul is so important.
Mm.
The essence of who we are is so important. The essence of who I am is very important to me. So I tried to compromise for a record label back in the day. And you know, it took me 3 years to get back to hear that voice again, to hear that music in my head again. I'm used to waking up in the middle of the night hearing music and can't sleep, and I gotta write it or speak it into
Mhm.
my notepad in my phone, or my voice memos in my phone. And when I lost that for like 3 or 4 years because I was trying to do what these record labels wanted me to do, it was the emptiest feeling I ever had.
Mm.
And I wouldn't trade, what I was able to attain back from the source, from the Most High, from the Creator, from the ancestors, for nothing.
Mm.
No amount of money could make me do that.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing, right? Because sometimes you have people that want to be famous and get the money and to be in the limelight,
Yes.
but maybe sometimes they don't understand what it really is going to cost them
Hmm.
to really get that.
Yes.
And because we only see the surface, we only see what is portrayed in life and what's portrayed in social media, so we don't really get to see behind the curtain
Exactly.
of what I remember hearing a story about. I can't remember this guy's name, but to save my life, but he was talking about he was doing something and they took him on like to a mountain somewhere. I don't know if you heard. I
I
don't know
know.
if you
I
heard.
know what you're talking about.
I
I
don't know if you
forget
heard
the
this
guy.
story.
Yeah, I forget the guy's name. But go ahead.
I don't have. Yeah, I have no. Y'all know. Put it in the comments, right? But and they said he went and that they took him up there. They was gonna perform these rituals and the dude was like, "Yo, what's like? I need to get up out of here." So he like got with the mailman, and the
Yeah.
mailman was like, "Hey, I don't know what's going on." He was like, "Just take me down from the mountain." But things like that are real in the industry. Like we've heard situations where people have done. Now I don't know them firsthand.
Hmm.
I've never experienced them firsthand,
Yes.
but there are stories about things that people do, like the what's the lady's name that was sacrificing chickens in her closet? She was a singer, a rapper. She was
Sacrificing chickens in a
yeah. You
closet.
don't
Wow,
remember?
I didn't hear that
Oh
one.
my
Yeah.
gosh,
Wow.
yeah. Was she
You
sacrificing?
got me. I got to do my research now.
Look, I'm always look.
Yeah.
In the people know in the middle. I am a researcher,
Hmm.
so I will go look up
Yeah.
who um uh r- rapper sacrificed chickens.
There's some real stuff out here, man. I've seen some. Ooh.
In her what was her name? Azalea Banks.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
In 2016, rapper Azalea Banks posted videos to social media revealing that she had been sacrificing chickens in her closet. She attributed the practice to I can't pronounce it, brujeria, which is y'all can probably pronounce it better, a form of witchcraft, and claimed to have been doing it for 3 years. And she showed a picture of her closet, chicken bones, blood, everything in the closet. So she had been, but when you think
She
about
just
it,
kept the carcasses in there and just
yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, the stench had to be crazy.
Crazy. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
That's one person in the
Yeah.
music industry.
Yeah.
Like how often do those things happen behind closed doors that people may not know? You talked about selling your, and I guess the question would be, what is selling your soul? Well, like people may have a different understanding or perspective of what that may mean
Mm-hmm.
to them.
Mm-hmm.
What does it mean for you?
To me, selling your soul basically is when you you have compromised yourself for a price,
Mm.
you know, for in exchange for something else that you deem, worthy enough to compromise yourself. To me, nothing is worth compromising yourself. You got I've had people ask me, "Hey, would you hypothetically at the job or something like that, hey, would you do this for $1 million? Would you do time in the prison for $1 million? Would you do 2 years in prison for $1 million?"
Heck no.
I'm not trying to do that.
Never.
Nah, you're taking me away from my family. You're taking me away
Right.
from my essence. I don't want to be in no cage. you know.
No.
I've heard people say, "Well, would you have sex with this woman?" And they'll present to you the ugliest woman on the planet. And I'm like, nah, I'm not going to do that. They'll ask you stuff like, would you do a homosexual act? I'm like, man, I'm not even engaging in this conversation. And like I said, to each their own. But compromising your soul is or selling your soul is doing something that goes against what you stand for, the very essence of who you are, in exchange for something else worth, what somebody else deems valuable or what you may deem valuable, at that time. Nah, to me, nothing is worth, me trading who I am and moving off my square, and standing on my principles.
Yeah, that's the thing. Because I see sometimes in the industry, the music industry isn't really guided by principles,
Yes, yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's not really guided by morality in any
Money.
sense.
It's money.
It's money.
It's money, yeah.
It really is money. It's like whatever floats your boat,
Yeah.
however you need to get that money, that's how you need to go out and get it. Kudos to you if you doing this particular activity or this activity. Who are we to sit back and deem that the way that you get your money is
Exactly.
bad,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
But on the outside looking in, it's like, yo, do you not feel that that's compromising who you are as an individual, your morals, your principles? Yeah. No, as long as you get
What's that saying in the Bible? It said, what does it profit a man to gain the
gain-
world but lose his soul?
lose his soul.
Yeah, man.
In
that's
hell.
not a profit. You know what I mean?
No.
Nah, man.
Right.
You done lost the profit. The profit was what you had all along and what you gave up in exchange for. Because if it wasn't worth it, why do they want that in exchange for what they're offering you?
Exactly.
You know what I'm
Why are they so willing to have you do X, Y, and Z
Mhm.
in order to give you whatever it is that they
know
looking
what
to
they,
give you?
They know what is real currency.
And they
real
know
currency.
and they know that we'll give it up. Why?
Yeah.
Because what'd you say in the beginning? We come from struggle backgrounds where we didn't really have a lot. And now they like, yo, I got a milli
Mhm.
in your face. Would you know what? Yeah, I can buy my mom's a car and a house and I'm good. We can get out the hood.
And create generational wealth.
Yeah.
We all want generational wealth, but at what price are we willing to get it? And
That's
I'd rather go the long way. I'm cool with taking the long road.
yeah.
Doing it the right way.
Yeah, cause that was one of the questions I had was like, because you speak about faith and purpose,
Yes.
so in the industry that often rewards controversy more than conviction, as we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
How difficult is it to stay true to your beliefs while trying to grow your audience?
It's to me, it's not really difficult because I know what I'm here for. Now I have people outside of me that like you got to do this, and it's been like this my whole time, throughout my whole journey of creating music. I've had people like, yo, why you doing music like that? Man, people want to hear this. They don't want to be preached to. They don't want. And I'm like, listen, man, I got to speak what's inside of me.
Mm-hmm.
I got to speak what's inside of me because not only is the music inside of me being heard by those around me and the listeners that it may reach, but first and foremost, it's being heard by me. So when I write, when I create, music is therapeutic also. We may be going through things in life and you might experience a heartache, a heartbreak,
Facts.
so you write down, what you're going through,
Sure.
and you might sing along to it and you might be doing that alone in your room, but it's music and it's helping you get through it, helping you express your feelings. You keep all this stuff bottled up inside you, you're going to go crazy. You got to let it out, so music is therapeutic to me and it's healing. It's a healing factor in music. So that's why people play singing bowls and you hear the vibration coming off of those crystal bowls and stuff. The water is rippling.
What are them little things they be Twinkie.
Yeah.
Them little bowls with the
them.
little.
Yeah, I love them things. I forget what they call, but I love those things.
Mhm.
Music and sound vibration is healing. It's the most ancient
It's
form of healing
frequency.
practice. Yeah, practice
Yeah.
in the ancient, in the Orient, and in Africa long before it even traveled to the Far East. This is what we did. We healed through music. We taught over the drums. We sounded the war cry with battle horns and
Mhm.
drums to let people know war was approaching. You know, we did a lot of things through music. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? We raised each other through music. So yeah, music is healing too. So before it reaches the listeners, it's hitting me first. So
Mm.
that's why it's so important. I'm not worried about whether I grow my audience, or not, because the type of music I'm creating. Those who are
Right.
supposed to hear this, they're going to hear it. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Those who need it, who are looking for it, they're going to gravitate to it. And those who don't, it's not for them. Go ahead, you can get that other stuff. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with my small audience if that's all I get for the rest of my life.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, so here's what I find is because I don't know. How old are you? No, I always
You
got
really
to.
want me to tell that?
Hey,
Bro,
everybody know how old I am. I'm 51.
You 51?
Yeah.
Bro, I'm 55.
Hey, that's what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a seasoned vet.
We a new. What did Red call himself? New veteran.
Yeah.
Exactly. New veteran, right?
Yes.
So we grew up in a time of hip hop and music where it was regionalized.
Yes.
Right. And
Mhm.
so I didn't really hear music from other places
Mm-hmm.
until I went into the military.
Yeah. Same
And I was
here.
like, yo, what's this?
Mhm.
Yo, who is this? MC Nero, who was ESG?
Yeah.
I ain't never heard of the. I'm in Louisiana. I did basic in Alabama, actually an hour away from where we are now, Anniston.
Yeah.
And I'm listening to music I ain't never heard before.
Mm-hmm.
I think because music was so regionalized and in that culture of music in that space, right? Philly, right?
Yes.
Philly, New York, New Jersey had a real conscious culture
Yes.
about their music, speaking real lyricism.
Mhm.
I know Red and I on when he was here, we were talking about like rock, being influenced by like Rakim,
Yes.
BDP,
Mhm.
Big Daddy Kane.
My favorites.
You know what I'm
naming all my
saying?
favorites
Like
right now.
the Public Enemy, right?
Yes.
But because they always had a message in their music and they always rapped from a conscious perspective.
Yeah.
We didn't really start hearing other music about gangs and violence and drugs until like I started hearing about NWA and
Yeah.
hearing a couple of people from down south, and
Mhm.
because I'm originally from Virginia, that's the music we would get coming down from
Yeah.
the north. We didn't really get it coming from up from the south.
What part of Virginia was you in?
Oh man, I grew up in a small town called Hopewell, Virginia.
I know that area.
Oh, you do? Yeah.
Because I was stationed in the military. I was stationed in Norfolk, Virginia.
Yeah. So
I know that whole area.
Yeah. So we eventually moved to Newport News.
Okay. Yeah.
In
That's where
Hampton.
Allen Iverson was
Yeah.
from. I was down there when he had that brawl in the bowling alley.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was down there during that.
Yeah. What year? I'm trying to think. What year was that? 'Cause I think we were there from 2000 to 2000. Well, we had moved to St. Louis and then moved back to Virginia, 2000 to 2010, and because my brothers went to the same, they went to the same school, Michael Vick, played on the same football team that Michael Vick used to play on in high school.
Wow.
But I remember seeing Allen Iverson in I forgot what we were doing, a baseball game, celebrity baseball game, whatever the case, and he was there and all that stuff. But
yeah, I think that was like 92 or something like that. I want to say it was 92, maybe 93. But I remember that clearly when that happened. I was like, wow, are you serious? And it was racially motivated,
What I'm interested in is you said you faced racism in the Navy.
Yes, I did.
So I didn't get that in the Army because where I was stationed was in Alabama.
Yeah.
And most of the people in my unit were black.
Yeah.
Our first sergeant was black. Most of our platoon sergeants were black. Most of them. That had to be interesting because in the Navy, you're on boats.
Yeah. Just like you got communities, predominantly black communities throughout the United States that we call the hood. I'm not going to say the Army is the hood, but
the Army's the hood.
But
it's the hood.
Black people are known to go to the Army.
Mm-hmm.
They're known to go to the they more recently in the last couple of decades they've been going to the Marines and Air Force and stuff like that. But when I went into the Navy in the early '90s, the very early '90s, it wasn't it was Black people in there, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't as many Black people. It wasn't as populated with Black people as the Army was.
Yeah.
So because it wasn't so much, you had a lot of the higher ups, the officers, the chiefs, everybody that was higher up,
Mm-hmm.
should I say, that had a high ranking. They were, they were white folk. They're white folk. So if you faced the issue of racism, an issue of discrimination, an issue of some type of a hate crime that was committed against you, because they would paint on our burthens, go back to Africa, niggers and KKK
really?
when you in the bathroom stalls and all this other stuff, and white power, this and that. They did all that stuff,
Mm.
and I was one of the people that felt as though I had to speak up. I couldn't,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't sign up to be treated like an animal, to be treated like less than a human.
Mm-hmm.
I signed up in the military to better myself, to pull myself up out of those streets, to get out of that same mundane cycle that most of our people in the hood were in, standing on the corners and doing nothing with their lives. So I didn't go in there and sign up to be degraded. So I felt like I had to stand up. And then when I stood up, all I was doing was telling, the oppressor on the people that's committing the act of oppression. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm telling them what's going on, they're like, oh yeah, we're going to take care of it. And I see them all going out and having drinks together and hanging out together and smiling and laughing and nothing being done. So,
Yeah. I now you think about it, I can see it.
Yeah.
From that perspective,
Mm-hmm.
because when you think about, and for y'all who ever been in the military, y'all kind of know that the different branches of the military that kind of exist out there.
Yes.
That I mean, the Army is like the hood, because it was either like go to jail or go to the Army. Like that's kind of what you had as your choices, right?
Wow.
It wasn't go to jail or go to the Navy.
Yeah.
Or go to jail and go to the Air Force, because those were reserved for the more higher caliber of people.
Yes.
Right. So we went to the Army and to the Marines.
Yeah.
But probably why I never faced it when I was in the Army.
Yeah.
Because I mean, number brothers everywhere.
Yeah, it was a more influx of,
and we fought all the time. We brother, but we fought. We were still brothers.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's not an influx of brothers that are in the Navy.
Yeah.
Maybe in that time.
It's more now, but
I'm gonna ask my cousin, because my cousin retired from the Navy.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have to ask him.
He'll let you know. I'm sure he's seen some things.
I'm gonna have to ask. You ever experienced
I've never
this?
seen racism at the level and magnitude that I experienced it in the Navy.
Wow.
Like, and I part of me hates to say that, because I took pride in what I was doing, what I had joined to better myself. But I was pretty much backed into a corner where I had to fight. But then you had those who chose not to. They was like, man, what are you doing? You're crazy, man. You're going to get kicked out, this and that. And well, we got to feed our families. They didn't want to speak up. I'm thankful that I did speak up. Everything that I went through in life made me who I am today, and I'm thankful for it.
Yeah, that shows character.
Yes,
that definitely shows character. So let me go back. So when I introduced you as Anray360.
Yes.
What does this 360 mean? Where did that come from? And then what does 360 represent in your life, from music, life, and creative decisions? Like, what is that root of that 360?
Well, 360 means I'm complete. I'm finally complete, and it's not saying that the journey is complete. It's saying that I everything that I've experienced in life, everything that I went through from a kid up until now has come back full circle. All those lessons that that I've learned from, it has come back full circles, and I'm able to give it back to the people. 360 also means that I'm complete, mind, body, and soul. I'm one. I'm using it all in unison, as above, so below. Nothing manifests in the physical realm without first existing in the energy realm, the spirit realm, the conscious energy realm. So it's 360 complete. But it also means past, present, and future. I am my ancestors living right now in this present day and time. I am the future. I'm the representation for the future generations. What I do right now is going to affect the future generations. So it's all tied in together, 360.
Mm.
Past, present, future, mind, body, soul, complete, and all of the lessons. And I'm a father, I'm a husband, I'm a musician, I'm an employee, I'm
Mm-hmm.
so much more. I'm a brother, I'm a son, I'm a cousin. I'm a guest on a podcast show right now.
Hey,
You know what I mean?
hey.
Yes, yes. So 360 is just everything,
Okay.
and to be able to put it and project it through my music and let other people know that they can be whole. All the pain we went through, all the torture we went through, all the trials in life that we went through, that there's healing at the end. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? We can heal along the way and come back full circle and be better versions of ourselves.
Man,
So that's what 360 stands for.
yeah, that's powerful, man. And,
Yes.
and just having people realize that through music, you can find healing.
Yes.
Through completeness, you can find healing. And I think sometimes people don't realize that is you can be a better version of yourself today than you were yesterday.
Yes. Yes.
Like, and if we only just give ourselves the chance to be able to do that, yes, I think we've all experienced a certain level of trauma.
Yes. Yes.
We've all experienced a certain level of disappointment,
Mm-hmm.
a certain level of struggle in our lives.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I told the story on here how, me and my wife, we moved from St. Louis to Virginia and ended up homeless
Wow.
for like I say
Yeah.
9 months. Every time I say it, my wife is like, it was really like 6 months, but it felt so
Yeah,
much
yeah.
longer than that.
Yeah.
But and just really sitting back and saying, you know what, I can be a better version of myself going through this.
Mm-hmm.
Because my younger two weren't even born yet when
Yeah.
this thing had took place in our lives. And it really is about how do you deal with the situation that you're in at the moment? What's your
Yeah.
strength of character
Yes.
that you've
Yes.
developed
Mm-hmm.
or are developing
Mm-hmm.
in that instance, that situation to help carry you further? That's
Yeah.
why that's why I love music so much,
That's
brother.
deep, bro. That's deep.
I love music so much because like you, healing happens through music. And I think it happens for a lot of people, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Music healing happens through music.
Mm-hmm.
And through that music, we make and tell the best stories. We make the best songs when it comes from it's just my opinion.
Yeah.
If it comes from a place of hurt and pain.
Mm-hmm.
And I always go back and talk about, because one of my favorite albums is Mary J. Blige's My Life album. That is like one of my favorite albums of all time. It's sitting over there. It's sitting over there in my record collection over there.
Yeah, that's one of my wife's favorite albums, that My Life album. That's the third album, right?
No, it's the second.
Is it the second?
Yeah, yeah.
It's got the white cover?
No. It got the
Okay, well, I'm thinking the wrong one.
It ain't up here. But yeah, it was What's the 411?
Yeah, yeah.
And then the My Life album where it's like the blue cover.
Okay.
The blue and black
Yeah,
looking
yeah.
cover. Yeah. So
Mary's early albums were incredible, man. Them first 3-4 albums, wow,
incredible.
Yeah. She poured her heart and soul out on them things. And like you said, not only if it comes from a place of hurt and pain, of course, your most profound creations musically or artistically is going to come from a place of hurt and pain because you feel the deepest going through that stuff. But if it's coming from a genuine place, as long as it's coming from a genuine place, you can touch into a higher level, of music and create that vibration and that frequency of healing as well. As long as you're coming from a genuine place, you can raise the vibration of the room, the surroundings, and anybody listening.
Yeah, my wife said I can't make music when I'm sad.
Yeah. But think about it. Think about Earth, Wind, and Fire.
She's forbidden me to do that.
She said, "Don't do it. Don't do it." Yeah.
Ever.
But think about Earth, Wind, and Fire. All that music wasn't from a place of hurt, and they had some good stuff, man. And when you listen to them, you like, man, you just feel good automatically. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, a lot of their music was, once again, things that happened in their lives, things that they were experiencing.
Yes.
Why did I recently find out? Because they don't always tell the stories about how they come up with the music. Why did I just learn that Reason was a completely different situation? And Philip Bailey was talking about it. He was like, y'all think it's like a love song, but it ain't. He's like, Reason is not. It's not a love song.
Yeah.
He said, I was at the hotel. had the young little pretty thing up at the hotel.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? We know. I mean, this is Earth, Wind, and Fire back in the day.
Yeah.
Maurice White was still alive and you know,
Yeah,
back
yeah,
there,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
killing it.
Yeah.
And Philip Bailey was like, the lady was on the phone the next morning talking to her husband about, oh yeah, baby, I'm good. Don't worry about it. You know, I'm just out here. We're having fun. You know, I'm just taking care. But why? He's like, and I'm looking at her like, yo, this is crazy.
She out here.
She out here, and
Doing the
I'm
thing.
assuming he
Yeah.
didn't know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right. But that's how he said that's how he came up with the song.
Yeah.
He said, but if you go back and listen to the lyrics,
Mhm.
the lyrics ain't about love.
Mhm.
Right. He said all these reasons were a lie.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
like if you go back,
After the love game has been played.
that's what he's saying.
Yeah, yeah.
It ain't about a love song. It's
Mhm.
about this situation where this lady who was in this relationship was in the room with him
Yeah, yeah.
and was telling all these lies that he didn't really know about and telling all these lies to her other half.
Wow.
But
wow.
music was about experiences.
Yes, definitely.
And now it's you got people rapping and singing about things that they've never experienced
Yeah.
and have never
They're
gone.
getting paid to mislead the masses. They're getting paid to just put out, you know, just a bunch of nonsense and meaningless, anything that doesn't have any substance, you know, any real feel to it, you know. So, you know, what's that old song about MC Light, Paper Thin? This stuff is paper thin out here, man. It's real
Paper
thin.
thin.
Yeah, it's no depth to it. So
Mm.
you know, it's gonna be here today, be gone tomorrow.
Mhm.
Where people like Earth, Wind, and Fire and, you know, Smokey Robinson, you know, Sam Cooke, their stuff stands the test of time.
Yeah.
You know. We still listen to Rakim and Big Daddy to this day.
That's what I'm saying.
Standing the test of time.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't know how in
Tupac. Let me shout out Tupac.
Facts. I don't know if in 5 years you're gonna hear some of these rappers now. You're gonna be like, which explains why. If you look at my wall, I mean, I got Wu-Tang up there. You know what I'm saying? I got Only Built for Cuban Links. You know, the purple tape sitting up there. Method Man. I do got J. Cole. Y'all know J. Cole is one of my favorites, right? Y'all can't see the albums on the camera, but you know what I'm saying? Of course, Michael Jackson, because the music that I got in my collection is music that you can go back and listen to, and you know it's going to be good, amazing music. I can't imagine putting on a Lil Someone or whoever 5 years, 10 years from now. I'm like, man, I love listening to this song now. I just can't see that because the music today doesn't really have substance in that way. And maybe I'm speaking because I'm we old head. We from that era.
But you know what? You talking nothing but absolute truth. Because not too long ago, the Michael Jackson movie came out?
Yeah, it was fire, by the way.
It's a bunch of kids right now. My son is 9 years old. And he walks around, all they do, they carry their tablets around, you know, and him and his friends be on their little group, you know, visual, you know, video calls and all that stuff. And they singing Michael Jackson songs. Stuff that wasn't even in the movie. They go in there, they competing with each other, and they do this all day long and all night until I say, all right, time to put them tablets up. You know, that music stands the test of time. And that's what the 360 experience is. You know, I want it to stand the test of time. You know, I want music that they're going to be able to listen to because it's coming from such a genuine place. It's coming from the heart. It's coming from the soul. That heart chakra is a powerful chakra. You know, we talking about love. You know, we talking about, you know what I mean, you know, connection.
Right,
you know,
right.
What creates new life. You know what I mean? So when you coming from that genuine place, you know, it's going to stand the test of time. So
yeah. So speaking of the Anray360 experience, you got a show coming up.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. July 10th.
July 10th.
Yes.
Because I saw the video today.
Yeah. Okay.
Carisha tagged me in the video today.
Yeah, okay. Good,
and so I was like, bet, July 10th.
Carisha is amazing, man. Shout out to Carisha the diva.
Yo, she is a hard-working woman, brother.
Ooh, she don't play.
She do not play.
Yeah.
Do not. I haven't had her on here yet.
Yeah.
But she does not play.
Yeah. You gotta have Carisha on here, you know, and vice versa. She need to have
I told her. I was like, hey, well, when?
Yeah.
You be having all these other people on the show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Ray Daniels. Shout out to my man Ray Daniels, who we had on the podcast.
Yeah.
Charleston White and you know, Rick Ross and you know, she was just with Al Nuke the other day and I'm like, I know I ain't that important. Like, but when can I come on to
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
platform?
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And kind of talk about what I do, you know.
Right, right.
But shout out to Carisha though.
Definitely.
She is always doing her thing, brother. Like
Yeah.
moving every day
Mm-hmm.
that she's involved with something.
Yeah, she got that. She got that in her, man. That up north, we gonna get to it.
Yeah, because
She
she's
don't
from
sleep.
Philly
She
too.
yeah, she from
Yeah.
Philadelphia too. Shout out to Philly. But yeah, she don't sleep, man. She don't sleep. I'm like, yo, you up in 3 a.m, sending shouts out in Texas, and I'm like, all right.
Hey.
But that's good. But that's good. That's what it takes, man. Those who who
Mm-hmm.
it's the early bird that catches the worm. What they say, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, she's out there getting it, man.
You know, and speaking of her in the context of her behavior,
Yes.
right? That the mindset, and I think that's a mindset that people don't really have today in the Black community.
Yeah.
I think we have I can just do it and something's going to come. Like Field of, like one of my favorite movies, Field of Dreams, right? You build the baseball field and the ghost players they'll come.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times we think that, if I just make the song and put the song on, Spotify, I'm about to take off.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I'm the hottest thing in my city, but I don't really want to do too much.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it takes a very strong-minded, willed individual to really, truly make it from an independent perspective. This is not for the faint of heart.
Oh no, definitely.
This is not something that you can just wake up and just half-ass doing it. I mean, you cannot.
Yeah.
If you want to succeed, it cannot be something you just, I'm just going to throw up something against the wall and stay. You'd be surprised how many people I talk to, but like, yo, because I used to do artist management.
Yeah.
And so how many artists I've talked to and I'm like, okay, cool. What's your plan? Like, walk me through your plan.
Mm-hmm.
Walk me at least through, how you start and organize what you do as a, no,
Yeah.
no. I don't know. I just know I want to make music. Let's go get the bag. Let's go. I'm like, nah, I can't.
You gotta have a plan. Anything in life. What they say, if you if you fail to plan, then you plan to fail.
John Wooden. That was
you
one.
Gotta have a plan. Yes.
Yep. You gotta have a plan. So let me ask you this: what conversation is the music industry afraid to have right now?
Well, the music industry, to me, is afraid to have that conversation of authenticity, because everything is from a cookie cutter mold right now. You hear, everything sounds the same. Everything sounds the same. I remember about 2 or 3 years ago, you heard a bunch of people coming out that were famous, big name artists that were coming out speaking some conscious stuff. T.I. had an album that was conscious, and I was just like, "Wow, T.I.'s on it right now."
Right.
And you heard a couple more of them come out, and they were doing little things, and then they went back and fell into the, And I'm not saying I'm not knocking what they're doing, but everybody sounds the same. We need some diversity in the music, in the music industry. As creative artists, or our artistic creations have to have some diversity. It has to have a range. You were talking to me earlier about how you produce as well. And you saying you do this hip hop over here, but you way over here as well, and you do them all well. You know what I mean? Because you didn't allow yourself to be put in a box, and that's what musicians, the music industry is afraid to have now. That conversation about being put into a box. They want us all in a box. They want us all in a box, and then they push the button, and the little Jack in the Box come out, and boom. But it's the same old clown. You know what I'm saying? When you push the button for 360, when you push the button for Red Fidel, the Soularians, my Vengers brothers, and shout out to the Vengers. You're gonna hear some diversity. You're gonna hear some things that challenges the system, challenges the everyday norm. And that's what's needed. We need to have that conversation. That's the conversation that needs to be had. Let's be real. Let's be authentic. Let's be ourselves again. And once we are back to being who we really supposed to be, who we authentically are, that's when you're going to see the healing come. That's when you're going to see the change, for the better in the communities. You know what I mean? That's when you're going to see us rising up out of poverty, because we not people that's supposed to be walking around trudging through poverty or trudging through mediocre middle class. We kings and queens. We divine beings, even outside of this physical essence. We are divine beings, just having a temporary, earthly experience, physical experience. So once we tap back into that authentic self and get out of those boxes that they put us in, we're gonna be okay. That's the conversation that need to be had.
Yeah. Do you believe it's the responsibility of artists to serve as leaders and role models within the music culture?
Anybody with a platform, I feel like, has an obligation, to put the truth out there. So that's just my opinion. I can't speak for other people.
Right.
But for me, if I have a platform or whatever platform that I do have, I feel obligated to put the truth out there, to speak, what's right, to speak about things that aren't being spoken about, that needs to be touched on, because we can't just keep saying, Mr. Derek down the block, he's molesting the kids, but just don't go down there. Nah, we need to address that. We need we need to pay Mr. Derek a visit.
Nigga, back
My
in the
kids
day,
live in this development. You know what I'm saying?
back in the day, Mr. Darrell would be on the street getting them hands.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. And we've gotten away from that. It takes a village to raise a kid.
Man, you remember back in the day? Yeah, see, a lot of other people don't know, but it's especially today. They don't know about stuff like this. What I'm about to tell y'all haven't experienced it unless you in your mids. You know what I'm saying? If you're in your mids, then you've experienced this.
Exactly.
When you were playing outside with your friends or over your friend's house and you did something wrong, and you may get a whooping from that person. And then when they'll call your mom when you go home, you get another whooping from your mama, right? It takes a community.
It takes a community, a village,
to raise up the people in that community.
Yes.
There was no. It'll be doggone if I was out there doing something crazy and my neighbor seeing me do something and wasn't on my tail about it.
Yeah.
Brian, you ain't supposed to be out there doing that. What your mama's gonna think when you're doing that? Hey, what you get over here? You ain't supposed to be doing that. I'm telling you, you get home, I heard what you did. Go get the belt. Or she be with the switch already.
Yeah.
Or go outside and get the switch. So y'all know about switches. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that was child abuse.
I know too well about them.
Maybe it was child abuse. Maybe it ain't. I don't know how y'all think about it. I just know how I was raised.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I know how I turned out, regardless of how a person may feel about it. But, we experience things like that. So today, that's why I asked that question. Because back in the day, we had leaders. And those leaders are no longer here.
Yeah.
We had leaders within the hip hop community, in the urban community, that poured into the community, into the people. But we don't have that. The young artists don't like the old heads.
Yes.
The old heads don't really like the young artists. And then nobody like nobody. And so where do we go from here as a music community, as a Black community?
Yes.
How do we, from your perspective, how do we handle that? How do we deal with that?
Well, we gotta bridge the gap again. The separation, like I said earlier, about the change from who we used to be to what we are now. The change in the music, vibration and the truth that was being put out, the conviction that was being put out versus what's being put out today. It's not just coincidental. That separation is intentional. They wanted to separate the old from the young. They took the fathers out of the home for a reason. You want to get this welfare check. It better not be no man in that house.
Yeah, you got that right.
They
got a whole book about that.
Yeah, and the same thing with the separation between the old and the young. You can't empower keep the power, the transfer of power going on, if there's a separation between the person that has the power and they're supposed to be handing that baton of power back down to those coming behind them. If you keep them separated, they can never hand that baton off to the people coming up behind them that's running in this race. Like Nipsey Hussle says, the marathon. That's what our people are in. We're in a marathon. We're running a race. And that's what we've been doing since the beginning of time. But for some reason, not only has there been a separation between those running the race with us coming behind us, a lot of us don't even know that we have a baton to pass, you
Mm.
know? And that's the crazy thing, but it's intentional. It's intentional, and by outsiders of our race, and I don't want to make everything sound like it's all about race, but it is.
He said, but it
It
is.
is, you know?
Like
It
we can
is.
sit here and play ignorant, but it really is.
Yeah,
A
yeah.
lot of the things that happen in society,
Mhm.
it happens from that
Yeah,
perspective.
yeah. The
You know?
transfer of power was real, and they don't want that transfer of power to go back.
Mm.
They don't want us to get it back, They don't want us to get
Mhm.
if you have land, then you have resources. They don't want to give us that land.
That's
They never
right.
intended to give us that 40 acres and a mule,
That's
you
right.
know? So yeah, we got to bridge the
Who
gap.
did I hear? Riza Islam was talking about this
Yeah.
because the guy was asking him about Obama being the president. What did Obama do for the black community?
Mhm.
And Riza was like, "Well, what did you expect him to do? Like he is one person operating in the role of the president,
Mhm.
but you got a whole Senate. You think they're gonna allow him to give 40 acres and a mule away to every black?"
Exactly.
He said that would be like them admitting
Yeah.
that they had a part in slavery and that slavery was wrong.
Mhm.
Like they're not gonna do that. He's not
No,
gonna do that.
no,
They're not
no.
even gonna give him the power to do that.
The
You know what I'm
crazy
saying?
thing
Like,
is that every other race has been paid, has been compensated.
oh,
You know,
Indians,
Indians, the Chinese,
everybody,
got hit off with some stuff. The
everybody,
Japanese, after
everybody.
what happened in Nagasaki and Hiroshima and all that
They
other
rebuilt
stuff,
a whole.
they put them in prison camps and they paid them for that. After that,
Yeah.
we still have not been compensated for what has been done to us. And the crazy thing is, we can't be compensated. Some things that most of the stuff that they've done to us can't be paid back by money. They owe blood debts.
Mm.
There are such things as we call blood debts that has been owed. Our people have went through some stuff, man. And it's it's a big rabbit hole that we
Right,
can
right.
travel, along. We won't touch on that, but yeah, we're owed a lot. We're owed a lot,
Yeah.
but it starts with us.
Yeah.
It starts with us knowing that, hey, we got a baton to pass. We got a baton to pass to those coming alongside us, as well as those running behind us. You know what I mean? And we got to make that reconnection again with the youth. We got to reach out. We got to have those outreach programs that we reaching back out to the youth. And there's a lot of that actually going on in the communities that just don't get, don't get notoriety, don't get publicized. They want to push to you all the negative that's going on.
Yeah, because you think about it recently. I don't know if it was recently, but I remember, and one of my favorite rappers, Redman and Method Man.
Yes.
And they were doing a concert, and they were asking people who were over a certain age to raise your hand and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, "Yeah, we don't rock with the youth. If the youth in that way, because they don't really rock with their music in that way." And I think it sparked from a concert that they did. I don't know if it was a Hot 97 or it was some show that they did. And I mean, they were killing it.
Yeah.
And everybody was on their phones, just scrolling. And they were just like, "Yo, we out here putting on a performance of our life."
Yeah, yeah.
And y'all up here just looking at y'all phone and playing around. And it's like,
yeah.
I mean, do you think it's because it's now that hip hop is so commoditized that it's not respected in that way?
I think it's that as well. It's definitely that. It's definitely that. But our people have a short attention span now because of these cell phones, because of these tablets. It's so many things that you could remember back when we was coming up. We had like 3 channels that you could turn to 3, 6, 10, or 2.
TV used to go off.
Yeah, and then the TV would go off.
Right.
Then you had some UFH channels. It might be 1. It might be 2 or 3 of those. But at a certain time of the night, everything would go off.
That's right.
Now they got such a variety of things that they can keep scrolling and keeping their brain going all over the place that their attention span is very short. It's very limited. So they might start rocking in the beginning, and if you ain't directly engaging with them, then you're gonna lose the audience a lot of times. And so it definitely is, hip hop. It's been what's the word you use?
Oh, commoditized.
Commoditized.
Yeah, it's commodity. Hip hop has become a commodity.
Yeah.
It's
definitely that, but it's also it's a combination of things as well. And
So let's talk about the Soularians, right? And
Yes.
and your mission with your group and your crew that you roll with. how does the Solarians fit into all of this in this big scope in this pie of music?
Yeah, yeah,
So kind of talk about the Solarians. How did you get started? What's your messaging? Type of
yeah,
music you make? Let's talk about the whole thing.
yeah. So I like to say I don't. People like to call us a super group, and we are that. But I like to say we're a super collective. You know what I
Mm,
mean? Um, as far as when I'm talking about the Avengers, the other group, Solarians. Ooh, that's deep right there. The
yeah.
Solarians. The reason why we chose the name Solarians is because we know that we receive downloads. From the soul. You know, from the solar system. We are solar beings. We come from the solar system. You know what I mean? We are earthlings, of course, but where does the earth sit at? It sits in the solar system. You know what I mean? It's a solar body. You know what I mean? It's a cosmic body. So we are cosmic beings as well as we are earth beings. You know what I'm saying? We're cosmic beings. So, the energy that we come from, the energy that feeds the earth is a cosmic energy. You know what I mean? That nourishes the earth, and the earth in turn nourishes us. So we pulling not, just earth deep, you know what I mean? We pulling from the
Hmm.
solar system, direct source, and we giving those messages that go way, way past and what, way further than what most people are reaching for and striving to put out. So Solarians, we getting back in touch with the soul. And we teaching other people to get back in touch with the soul also. And those
Hmm.
solar messages. You know what I mean? They talk about the sun giving off solar flares. That's what we giving in music. We heating
Mm,
everything up. You know what I mean? We heating
hmm.
everything up. We causing a disruption, in the internet, the grid, and all the other type of stuff. You know what I mean? With God, divine music. You know what I mean? We
Hmm.
we we know that we are divine beings. We know that we come from the source. Um, so that's what that's about with the Solarians, and to me, it's the proudest thing I've been a part of. When it comes to musical groups, or should I say, music collectives. You know, Red always pushes my pen. He's a phenomenal artist, a phenomenal writer, a phenomenal thinker,
Mm,
and he's a stand up brother. You know,
mhm.
so me and this dude, when we linked up, we first linked up just out of respect for what each other could do lyrically.
Right.
Respect, for each other as artists. But then we got to know each other and learn each other as brothers, doing a couple songs together and then traveling and doing shows together. And man, we realized how much we had in common,
Mm,
just soulfully. You got people that are kindred souls.
mhm.
They travel this world together. They travel this journey together. And he's one of those kindred souls to me, a brother, so it was only right that we put together the group called the Soularians and show them, yeah, we do this other stuff too. But let us show you what, how
Mhm.
far we can go with the stuff that we really would like to be on, that we really want to give you. And the Solarians allow, that group allows us to do that.
Yeah, but because you're coming from Philly,
Yes.
he's coming from Miami,
Yeah.
right? Two different types of hip hop culture
Yeah. Yeah.
coming
Totally.
together
Mhm.
to create a dynamic presence known as the Solarians,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
so how did that gel together? I mean, you got different styles, different types of musical influences
Mhm.
to create such a dynamic collective as the Solarians. Like how did that even play itself out?
Ooh, I mean, just for the love of being authentic. Both of us have a love for being authentically who we are. You know, and like you said earlier, he loved up north music, East Coast music. You know, but
Mhm.
of course he was raised in the down south, so he has that pulse, that punch that the down
Mhm.
south has as well. And he found the right blend to give it as his contribution together. Through his form of artistic expression. And because I'm from the East Coast, because I'm from up north, but I had the benefit of being in the military, traveling and being exposed to all kinds of different music,
That's right.
from soft rock to down south hip hop. My first time hearing Tupac, I was in the military.
Me too.
Yeah, I
Oh,
was like, "What?" People from Baltimore put me on to it. They was
oh
like, "Yo, you ever
yeah.
heard this guy?"
Yeah, because 'cause he's from there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I was like, what? I was like, yo, this is. I started tuning in and listening to him, and I took it back to Philly with me and letting everybody else hear it. They was like, man, who is this? They started rocking to it, and then next thing you know, he just blew up. But
Mm. See, I'll let you finish, but I first heard of Tupac when I was in Germany.
Wow.
Because we had left Virginia to go to Germany.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when Tupacalypse Now came out. Now,
See,
I probably heard it before with Digital Underground and things like that, but hearing Tupac as Tupac was that album when I was in Germany.
That's when I heard Tupacalypse Now. So we may have been in there, close to the same time frame as far as being in the military. But I heard the Tupacalypse Now album, and I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I was like, wow, just because we play with the people of violence and and words of wisdom, part-time mother, where he sampled Stevie Wonder. I was like, yo, this is crazy. Like, I've never heard nothing like this. Of course, everybody knows Brenda Has a Baby.
Of course.
So, but because I was from the East Coast and I was able to be exposed to so much different music by being in the military, because you got people from all over that join the military. So they're sharing what they like and what they love and what they enjoy with you. So because I was able to experience that, I was able to appreciate music from Miami, where Red is from, and be able to share with him the stuff that I love as well. And he already had an appreciation for it. So it's it was the coming together was something that was just was meant to happen. It was the divine order. And if you listen to our music, you'll see it's some highly impactful music. And it goes deep and it touches the soul and it soothes the soul as well. Soothes the soul as well. It's not all rah, nothing like that. We love to brag on what we can do lyrically because we come from that era. But we love to enjoy music as well and soothe the soul. You know what I mean? Let people know we here with you, man. We know what you're going through. Let us take this walk with you.
Yeah, that's the beauty of the music, because I had a chance to see and listen to a couple of the projects, and I remember distinctly one of the videos was y'all were outside and like I don't know what the gear was that y'all had on, but y'all were outside, you're sitting on the grass. I'm assuming those were your wives out there with y'all and stuff like that.
Us,
yeah.
Grateful. The song.
Grateful. Yeah.
We had the dashikis on.
Yeah, dashikis. Yeah, I did. And I could just tell, just even that the way that y'all were rhyming and your wordplay and usage, that y'all really were taking music to either back to its roots or elevating it higher than where it currently is today.
Yeah, a little bit of both.
A little bit of both,
Yeah,
right? And I think that's something that's needed, because you can only hear so much booty shaking music. You need something that can resonate with the soul as well. And that's the beauty of the Soularians. But I am interested, because you do hear, groups versus collectives, right? And you made the distinction like, well, we're a collective. Like, how do you define the difference? You say, because like NWA, would you say they were a group? Would you say Wu-Tang was a group or a collective? Like
they were both. They were a group because they came together and did music as one, which made them a group. But they were a collective. They all put out solo albums, so that's what made them a collective. Raekwon was dope as a solo artist.
I know.
Method Man incredible as a solo artist. RZA dope as a solo artist.
He was all right.
Ghostface, come on, Ghostface.
He was all right.
I love Ghost, man.
No, I'm talking about. He said RZA. I was like, he was all right.
RZA, yeah. Bobby Digital, yeah.
Bobby Digital.
But some of them songs he did, like he had a song he did with the group called the Grave Diggers. The Night the Earth Cried. Did you ever hear that?
I did.
That song was incredible to me, man. Like RZA had some stuff, man.
But RZA always had them lyrics like coming to like fallopian tubes. That was like, yeah, really? Like, wait.
Yeah, he was out there. He was out there. Yeah. But he was
coming around the mountain when they come. Like
he was ahead of his time, but he would go a little left sometimes, and it's necessary, as an artist, man, that you do something a little different. So some people know how to do it and get away with it. There's some people they get the I caught you. people pointing their finger. You heard what he just said? He said hum diddy dum diddy, So
yes.
yeah. But yeah, I got a lot of respect for them as a group, but as well as a collective. So I say they were both.
Because they probably were. They probably started out as a group, and then they became a collective once they. Yeah. But that was, what, that was so genius of RZA. I mean, granted, he could have let them in on all the things that he was doing and planning, and we don't know, and I don't know from that perspective if he truly if they were just kind of blindsided by a couple of things. But
Mhm.
it was still genius though,
Yes,
with the
definitely.
fact that, okay, we're a group, we're all under Wu-Tang Records,
Mhm.
and we're gonna sign each of y'all to a record label, and y'all release y'all deals under them. But as a group, Wu-Tang will be a group, and y'all can still go out and get your own.
Yeah, yeah,
Like I thought that was just because most groups don't do that.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They just don't do that. And I remember distinctively when Takal came out. Oh man, album sitting right up there.
I love
I
that album,
remember
bro.
when that album
I
came
love that
out.
album. Yeah, yeah.
I was in Fort Polk, Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
We was killing that album
Yeah, yeah.
all the time, man. But yeah, I guess I can see it from that perspective. And so even if from that perspective, I would say NWA was a group
Yeah, yeah. They were.
who didn't really operate as a collective
Yeah.
because they ended up breaking up.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so then you had Dre, who went over here and, well, Cube, and then Dre,
Yeah.
and then
MC
Ren kind of did
Yeah.
his thing. Yella
Yeah.
kind of did his thing. Arabian Prince, you really never even
Yeah.
heard that much. You see, y'all didn't even know about Arabian Prince, right?
Right.
So y'all be like, who's that?
Yeah.
Right. One of the original members of the NWA. But so that's interesting, because with y'all may be a collective, but y'all are powerful and right in your own, and you're releasing music even under your own as well.
Yes, definitely,
So
definitely. It's important that we make sure that we give ourselves that room and that space to still be the fullest version of ourselves as solo artists.
mm,
You know what I mean? But still come together and give the Soularians everything we have as well. So it's I couldn't pick another artist that I would feel that would be better to do this with other than Red Fidel.
mm.
Yeah.
And do you think that was cultivated because of the relationship? I mean, I don't think that was something like maybe. Oh man, I think we'd make a dynamic duo.
Yeah.
But
the relationship definitely cultivated it.
Yeah.
The relationship definitely did it. And we just grown stronger and closer over the years, like we do a lot of stuff together. We talk often, probably just about every day we talk. If it's not on the phone vocally, we're talking through text message. Yeah, that's my brother. That's one of my, somebody's going to be my friend for life. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was definitely cultivated through the relationship. Of course, you got people that you meet out there and you're like, man, I would love to do a song with that person. They got some hot stuff. I think we could make a hit. But then you got some people you're like, man, look, we on this journey together. And he one of those brothers. Me and him do that together. That's this Soularian thing is going to be an eternal thing.
Yeah.
No matter what. Long after we stop doing music, we connected through that. Through that bond.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm excited. I'm excited because I get to be part of something that the Soularians are doing.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I can't wait to hear that though.
Ooh, yeah, that beat you blessed us with. Oof. I don't know if y'all know this is a super producer right here. He got some heat that he gave us, and we about to lace that thing. So in the next week or so, y'all about to hear some hot stuff, man.
I don't really promote it like that.
Yeah,
it was so crazy. That's what I moved here for.
Yeah.
And so when I got here, and I said my interview, but when I got here, I used to travel all the time to Atlanta from St. Louis.
Yeah.
And I met a lot of people, connect with a lot of people. The issue was that when I would come back, maybe 3 months later, I'd be like, yo, what's up? They'd be like, hey, yeah, what's good? Like, yeah. And it's like, yeah, remember me? Where I was, oh, yeah. Nah, I got tired of that.
Yeah.
I was like, nah, you're going to remember who I am.
I heard that.
Like, you're going to see me at these places. You're going to remember me.
Yeah.
And so we ended up moving. It was so crazy that music production took a back turn, or what's the right phraseology? It took a back seat.
Yes.
Because I started doing this.
Yeah.
I really started getting heavy into film and creating a network and a platform. And I started off doing it selfishly, but maybe if Carisha interviewed me, I'll tell that whole story. So Carisha,
but you know what? That's a story that needs to be heard. So you definitely, you and Carisha need to hook up. And like I said, she get on your platform. You get on hers as well. But all of that, these are all gifts that you've been given. You know what I mean? Music is a gift. Film is a gift. Speaking on these podcasts, these platforms, and creating platforms for other people is a gift. Everybody can't do that. You got people that would like to do that, and they have tried, their hand at doing it, but have been unsuccessful.
Yeah.
Everybody can't do it. Some people are giving these gifts, man. And you want them people because what you got here, I'm looking around, man. This is a dope setup. The way you speak, and you conduct this interview is dope. It's incredible. It's very professional. And then I heard your music. Ooh, and I only heard one.
You only heard one.
I only heard one, but that one is so hot. I'm like,
you only heard the one.
We need people like you out there
Right.
producing. We need producers like you out there because it'll allow us to tap into, something that's missing. That's missing in the game right now. That's missing in the hip hop, in the the music, that we need to put out what we want to put out. When I heard that immediately, Ray was like, just tell me what you think about it, and if you with it, we can do something to it. I heard that. I said, man, what you mean? I said, you know what type of music I like. Of course I'm on this. I already wrote my verse. He said, you wrote already? I said, I wrote my verse.
Bruh. Because you see, y'all don't know. See, I know. Y'all don't know.
Yeah.
He know. Y'all don't know. Because I have not placed that and put it out anywhere like social. You know how producers be. They make a song. They think it's hot. They put it on social media real quick. And they be like, yeah, look at me in the studio.
Yeah.
I ain't put it nowhere.
Don't, because you're going to have people biting that stuff because you got some hot stuff right now.
I don't want nobody to hear that.
Yeah.
Well, I was like,
yeah.
Oh, man. But when we done, I'll play you a couple
things.
That's
a gem. That's a gem that you got right there. And I know it's more where that comes from because you don't just create something like that and stumble across it and, you don't got nothing else. Nah, that, I know.
Yeah.
I know, so I can't wait.
But what's so crazy is that that's not what I do, like,
full time.
I mean, full time, I got a full-time job, right? So I do that from 8 something till 5 something.
Yeah.
And then, depending on how I feel, I got to then prioritize and go, wait, okay, I got to edit this interview. I got to create the graphics for the interview. I got to start promoting the interview. I got to do it. And so I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that because I got other things that I got to do. But when I do get over there to do something, then I was like, okay, cool. Let me figure out how I'm going to make some music over here.
Yeah.
But I don't think I lost it.
No, you definitely have it.
It just ain't the main. It just ain't the main thing.
Yeah.
But
you got something with that, man. You need it. Please keep producing. Please keep putting out music,
that's
you know
facts.
Because
but
if nobody else needs you, I need you,
bro. That is the beauty of being a producer, right? So let's kind of talk about that because like I said, I'm 51. You're 55.
Yes.
Right. We are still young, right? But we're not 20.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The record labels may, but they're not really looking at me going, "Yo, I'm gonna sign him as a producer."
Exactly.
Like he's gonna be the hottest. They're like, "Bro, you 51. Like, you're part of the Silver Centrum."
If they hear what you got,
type.
They might be saying, if they hear what you got, because man, listen.
Like we need young people we can take. No, because I'm smart.
I heard that. Yeah.
Now we're gonna talk about points. We're gonna talk about publishing.
Exactly.
We're gonna talk about royalty. We're gonna it
got to be right. It got to be.
Got to be right.
It's got to be
right.
right.
Because I know too much. I know too. I read books and I interview people and I got friends who are in high places that I'm gonna. They can't finagle me.
Exactly. Yeah.
So they ain't
gonna go for it.
No. They ain't gonna go for it.
Yeah.
But for yourself as an artist, still a young artist, a new veteran.
Yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
How what is your position on the industry being someone that's from a more mature, seasoned perspective, still operating in this space? But who said it? And I'll let you answer the question. Who said it? Was it Anray360? He ain't got nothing to talk about. Who wants to hear people talk? People over 55 talk about AARP, washing clothes,
I heard him
playing with the kids, going to the grocery store. Like,
it's funny that you asked this question because I got a song called Righteousness, Righteousness. And the opening line addresses that very statement. It says, Anray360 said he don't have nothing to speak about. I respect him much, but I could agree in the least amount. Our people's lost in crooked ways. We got to lead them out. The false teachers are speaking. Shh, we got to weed them out. So many things we could meet about and put the rest at verse the things we could beef about. The school to prison pipelines real in America. MK Ultra invading all of your mental barriers. You know what I mean? And I go deep into it. It's a lot of stuff that we can talk about. So I respect him because he's been there.
Mm-hmm.
So I respect where he's coming from. You know what I mean? That's his prerogative. You know, but there's some of us that have something to say. That's and age doesn't matter. You know, and really, you know, more so we should be speaking because we're operating and speaking from a place of experience now and wisdom. You know, because we're so seasoned, as my brother Ray likes to say, seasoned veterans. You know what I'm saying? The new veterans. So yeah, we have some things to speak about, you know. But I respect his position, saying that he's done, you know, and he don't want to do that no more. He's pursuing another form of music, another form of artistic expression. He's did everything that he wanted to do. I got a lot that I want to still do.
Right.
Yeah,
you know, because they say it's a young man's game.
yeah, definitely.
You know, like what old heads y'all got no business playing this young man's game. Like, y'all should age out of this. Y'all should retire.
Yeah.
When we hear y'all talk about, because can we? I don't know. Y'all could. We in our 50s, can we still talk? Hopefully, our music matures as we get older, right? That's what it's supposed to be. But can we still rap about them same things?
I can't. I don't want to.
I'm not a rapper, but I can't.
Yeah. I don't want to. I don't want to talk about the stuff I was talking about in my 20s. If I'm still doing that, then I haven't evolved. I haven't elevated. You know what I mean? I haven't expanded and grown and matured, you know? So, you know, the stuff I want to speak about is the stuff that's going to lead those who are in the position that I once was when I was in my 20s. You know, it's going to guide them, give them guidance. You know, those who are coming up even younger than them. Like I got a 9-year-old son. When I play my music, my son likes to sing along to it. So I can't have a bunch of cursing, a bunch of profanity, a bunch of nonsense and disrespected women, but I want him to respect his mom. You know? So I can't talk about that nonsense that I once talked about when I was much younger and coming from a much more ignorant standpoint. You know, and I was just wild and young, experiencing life, exploring life, and trying to find out what it was all about. Now that I know what it's about, for the most part, and you never stop learning, you never stop, receiving knowledge and information, but the level of knowledge that I'm on now, you know, I have to speak on that level. I can't know better, but I'm doing worse. When you know better, you're supposed to do better, you know? So I got to do that through my music as well. I don't want to rap about a bunch of nonsense. It wouldn't sit right with my soul.
Yeah. No, I definitely feel you on that because, I just. But and the only reason why I mention this is because no matter what age you are, you can still make great music.
Yes.
I had Dr. Wawa in here last week. My man is almost 70 years old.
You know, he talks to me
Still
almost
killing
every
it.
day. He talks to me almost every day also, you know.
Still killing it.
Yeah, he's definitely a dope artist. Definitely a dope artist.
You
Kills
know,
it with the guitar.
I heard.
Yeah, he's a bad boy.
I heard he a bad boy with his guitar.
Yeah.
So the thing is that sometimes we in Black culture, in hip hop specifically, we get so into this ageism within hip hop. It's like, why are you so infatuated with the age of the person? It's like, oh, if you're over this age, you shouldn't be rapping, or if you over here, you shouldn't be doing this at this particular. Why? And of course now, so do you agree that we should have a separation? So my co-host, we do our podcast. We talk about, one of the things we talked about was that should there be a mature hip hop category for award shows like the Grammys, etc., where we're pitting, because right now you got LL Cool J when he came out with his album, and Ghostface and Raekwon when they came out with their album, going against
these young guys.
Yeah, well, they do hip hop, but I mean, they do hip hop, they do rap.
Yeah,
it's like
there's a difference.
There's a difference between the two. I mean, should we have our own?
Yeah,
mature.
Red Fidel came up with a genre of his own that he calls adult contemporary hip hop, and ACHH, adult contemporary hip hop, and that's what we do. We do adult contemporary hip hop, mature version of hip hop, a hip hop form that deals with wisdom and knowledge and overstanding.
Mm,
Because we're not underneath nothing, so we don't use the word understanding because we're
mm,
not underneath anything. When you know something, you are now over top of that level. You graduated from that level, so now we're dealing with overstanding. We're dealing with knowledge and overstanding, you know what I mean, or understanding because the knowledge is now in us.
mm,
We don't call it outformation; we call it information for a reason.
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's what's already,
Affirmation.
yeah, it's already what's inside of us. You know,
Right.
so we deal with adult contemporary hip hop, and yes, we do need to create and make that a big thing. You know, make that something that the award uh, organizations, and committees create as a
Mhm.
separate genre to separate those who are doing just regular, well, like you said, rap music where they just talking, they're just babbling over a beat, versus and it's a form of artistic expression, but it's theirs. But then you got those of us who are, who got something to say. You got
Mm,
people that have to say something, then you got some who just got something to say. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
Some people just have to say something, but they don't really got nothing to say.
mhm.
Those of us who do adult contemporary hip hop, the new genre that we want to implement and see take off, adult contemporary hip hop, that's, we have something to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Andre 3000 said, we're talking about Andre. The
Mhm.
South got something to
The
say.
South got something to
It's
say.
got something to say,
Yeah.
man.
The seasoned veterans, you know what I mean? The new vets,
That's
we
right.
got something to say.
Got something to say.
Yes.
Man, so as we start to wrap this up, man, so 5 years from now, what does the full Anray 360 vision look like? What's the bigger picture that you're building?
The full Anray 360 bigger picture is Ubuntu. It's a word that we use in an ancient African term in the Akan language called Ubuntu. And what Ubuntu means is I am because we are the collective. You know what
Mm,
I'm saying? I am because we are. I am nothing without my listeners. I am nothing without those who traveled along this journey with me, who I was able to pick up tidbits of knowledge and information from, some guidance from my grandmas, my uncles, my aunts, my cousins, my moms, my pops, my brothers, my sisters, my friends, my teachers, you know, even the bad stuff that I went through. I learned through it. The bad experiences I went through, Ubuntu. I am because we are as a collective. So when I say the Anray or the 360 experience, the 360 experience is my brother Mike Chambers. It's my brother Red Fidel. It's my brother Sundiata the Great. My Vengers brothers, the Soularian brothers, my people back home in Philadelphia and South Jersey. Everybody collectively. I want all of us to get a shine. We all got something to say. That's the 360 experience. Because it would be no 360 experience without all of the collective who have positively impacted my life. You know what
mhm.
I'm saying? So the producers, Big Yo, you know what I mean, and there's so many others. So
Yeah,
that's the 360 experience, the big vision that I want everybody to see, the bigger picture. It's more to us. It's not just me. It's a collective.
it's a collective
Yes.
for sure. So, man, tell people how they can find you, how they can connect with you. Where can they hear your music?
Um, you can find me on all streaming platforms under ANRAY360. That's ANRAY360 on all streaming platforms. That's how you can find me on YouTube as well, and you can also find me on Facebook under Anray Freeland. But yeah, the music ANRAY360, and please look me up because I got some stuff for everybody, man. For the sisters, who I like to call goddesses. You know what I mean? They're the closest thing to God because we come through them to get into this realm. They
That's
the
fact.
portals. They the nourishers inside the womb through the umbilical cord and outside the womb through the breast.
Mm.
So what I mean? Yeah, I got something for everybody, and look me up. You know what I mean? Because I definitely guarantee it's gonna be something that you're gonna like. It's an experience that you're gonna enjoy.
Yeah, that's what's up, brother.
Yeah.
Man, that is what's good. Ladies and gentlemen, man, thank y'all once again, man. Shout out to my man Anray360 for being here today.
Yes.
And just learning more about his story, his journey, his thoughts and perspective on the music industry. Make sure y'all go check him out. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for supporting us here at the Indie Unplugged on We Create Music TV. Make sure you just check us out and catch us on our YouTube channel, on our website. And thank you for rocking with us, man. We greatly appreciate it. And until next time, we'll catch you later. Peace.
Peace of love.